Well, good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock, 1 minute past six, and doesn't matter how many people are tuning in tonight. I'm just recording this broadcast here tonight as well because I believe it's important that more people need to hear this message. So, welcome everybody here tonight to Mindful Moments. I'm Jeff, your host here tonight. And I trust that what I'm going to share with you here tonight is that you're going to really just enjoy it and feel refreshed because the topic, as I said last time, is to unwind, reflect, and reset yourself by starting fresh. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you can totally reset yourself? And this is some of the stuff that I'm going to share with you tonight. How can we reset ourselves so that the best version of ourselves can emerge? So that's what I'm going to talk about. Everything pertaining to mindfulness, the ability to be in the present moment, to be here right now, to be aware of what is happening in this very moment around you as you pick it up through your five senses, and then also to be aware of what's happening inside of you in terms of what you're thinking right now and what you feel, your emotions. To be present is a wonderful gift. That's why it's called present, to be here. It's an amazing gift to enjoy when you are able to live in the present moment. Too many people on our planet are, at this very moment, they are suffering. And the reason why they're suffering is because they're not in the present moment. Or if they are in the present moment, they don't know how to improve the present moment, to make the best of now. So when we are able to be in the present moment, this is the wonderful ability to reset yourself. And it's so simple, it's childlike, but the reality is that most people will die in this life, they will die without realizing this profound wisdom that the secret to success in life, the secret to an abundant life, simply lies to be in the present moment, to be here, to be now present in the moment. And as I said just now, that when people are not in the present moment, they sit here, but their mind is somewhere else. They sit here, but their mind is either in the past or in the future. So what happens in such cases? We become disconnected. The mind and the body is totally disconnected from itself. And this is also the onset and the start of many problems in our life, including mental health conditions. The concept of fragmentation, when my life falls into pieces, I'm shattered. And what is happening with mindfulness is the ability to bring everything back, to mend, to fix it, to restore everything back into wholeness. And this is the beauty of mindfulness, to bring everything back to the center, to be able to find balance, equilibrium, and harmony in your life. But before we can find harmony in our surroundings, it's so important that we first need to find harmony within ourselves, to be connected with ourselves. Mindfulness is the ability, therefore, to be in touch with ourselves, to raise our sense of awareness, our conscious, to be so in touch with yourself, to know what's going on here. But the problem in reality is what we see is that we are often rushing and running around, And we are so preoccupied with today's routine and our routine for today and all the activities that we have to live. But we are seldom being able to just sit and being present. For instance, when we wake up in the mornings and we start rushing it and we just hurry to get out of the house, and the whole day we just rush, rush, rush. We're in a hurry. And what we are missing, we are not present. So, for instance, when we wake up, how amazing would it be if we can just pause, reflect, observe, observe your tea, coffee, breakfast, and being able to just appreciate what you're doing now, to being totally in the present. Because while we're in the present, what is actually happening is we are charging ourselves, we are loading ourselves, we are energizing ourselves when we are in the present moment. When we are not in the present, when we disconnect ourselves from the present moment, when we, for instance, overthink, ruminate, go back to the past or the future, what happens? Our energy gets drained. Because where our focus and attention is, that's where your energy will go to. If we, for instance, think a lot about our money, our finances, and we worry about it, all the energy goes to that. It's like a bottomless pit, it absorbs it, because then I'm overthinking, I'm in a judgmental mind, and I beat myself up with the what if and what could I do, in overthinking mode really drains our energy. And when energy is drained, all sorts of problems starts to happen because our emotions turn negative. Now we have fear, resentment, anxiety, stress, all of these emotions with a very low vibration, because emotions is energy. Emotion is an energy because the word emotion means in motion. And to be in motion, anything that needs to go in motion, into movement, requires energy. So any emotion that you and I feel is actually indeed energy being released. Now, that energy being released prompts us or guides us or directs us into a certain direction of our lives. And too many times we are experiencing undesirable emotions. We don't like the sadness, irritability, impatience. We don't like it. But the problem is that the emotion is produced from our thinking, the way we perceive things and observe things and how we then interpret it. And based on what we are thinking, what's happening? It releases the emotion appropriate in line with the thinking. And then, in other words, our emotions is simply a revelation, a revealing, a flow, a spontaneous flow, a direct result from what we think in our mind. The idea of mindfulness for us is to become absolutely aware of our thoughts and to become so in tune with our thinking to be able to even ask ourselves, is this thought I'm thinking now really serving its purpose? Is it helpful or is it mine? Is it unhelpful? Is it harmful? In other words, to be so in touch with yourself in terms of your mind, your thinking. Because I once heard that the average person thinks up to 70,000 thoughts a day, and many of them are actually automatic thoughts. We are not aware of it. These thoughts stay there and they operate and they govern us. Now, many automatic thoughts, for instance, are very helpful. They are there to serve a purpose, like, for instance, if you're driving your car, you know to figure out what the gears are. You have already programmed yourself to do it effectively. And that's the purpose of automatic thinking, to automate our behavior instinctively. And it sits in the body eventually, and you've got that body movement and you don't think about it. That's helpful. But in many cases, when it's harmful, what's happening is that there are dysfunctional, limiting beliefs that holds us back. And in my next broadcast next Sunday, I'm going to focus more on the 40 different categories of judgmental thinking that we have that really can affect our happiness. It steals our joy. It limits us. But that's more for next week. Tonight, I want you to be absolutely aware of yourself and in terms of your thinking, how your thought patterns can really inhibit you and hold you back. The problem is when we live in ignorance, in a disconnection from ourselves, we're not aware of these thought patterns. There's a lack of awareness, and that's why many of us, while our eyes are open, we are asleep. We are not present. So many of us want to have a better 2025. And we have these wonderful New Year's resolutions, but it will not come into fulfillment. It will not manifest if we make the commitment to stay consciously, intentionally in the present moment. So when we stay in the present moment, this is when we will see things happening. To be aware of yourself when the undesirable emotions seep through, manifest, to be aware that my emotion is a cue, it's a messenger. My emotions is telling me something. It makes me aware of the message that I need to become aware of. So I would like to say to you tonight, don't see emotions necessarily as negative, although sadness and negative emotions discharge a negative energy, of course. But we must also see it as a messenger. So don't kill the messenger, right? Your emotions is a cue, it's a messenger, giving to us to become aware of what's happening inside of us. In order to have a fantastic 2025, it's possible. It is surely important to reflect on your life, to be in so much in touch with your thought patterns, and especially to become aware of your limiting, harmful beliefs that's busy holding you back, that helped you back actually in the year of 2024, and to be in touch with it. And how do we become aware of these thoughts? Simple. That's why I always say to people, journal. Journal your experiences. Journal what's going on in your life and to just observe what's going on in your mind. For instance, take a piece of paper and for the next 20 minutes, anything that comes into mind, whether it's a thought in terms of words or whether it's a thought in terms of images, pictures, write it down. Just write it down. Whatever it is, without judgment, just write it down. Observe your thoughts, what's going on. And after 20 minutes, look at it. Become your own observer of what you are thinking. And that's one of the wonderful ways how we can really bring change in our life. So if you tuned in, welcome, welcome everybody. There's a couple of you here tonight. Welcome everybody. It's good to have you on board here tonight. And I just want you to understand tonight what we are talking here about. It's mindful moments, the ability to be in the present moment. And what we are saying here tonight, when we are able to practice mindfulness, we are able to unwind, reflect on our lives, and start afresh in our life. And that's why I want to ask 4 questions tonight. Last Sunday's broadcast, I asked the same questions, and many of you here didn't tune in last time. So I'm going to ask these 4 questions again, And I want to invite you to comment below on the Facebook page below, ask questions and give your answers here, because that will also give me some direction in terms of the way I'm going to share with you tonight. Because I want to tell you tonight, the secret to happiness and fulfillment lies by living in the moment. And it's so simple that many people are missing it. We want to overcomplicate it with our minds, like that movie, a short animation movie, Who Moved My Cheese? Remember that one about 30, 40 years ago? I used to watch it, and really, if we can just become more childlike, simple. And this is what mindfulness is, back to basics. Mindfulness is back to your default settings, to your original design, because in the state of mindfulness, the time is now. When we think in terms of linear thinking, when we think in terms of the three-dimensional thinking, in terms of time, space, uh, and matter, we are so aware of the limitations and the restrictions. But when we enter the domain of mindfulness in the now, what happens? You are entering the domain of possibilities. You are entering the domain of healing. And as I said in the beginning of this broadcast, you are entering the domain of resetting yourself, which is a crucial aspect for you if you would like to have a better 2025. Now, many people will say, yeah, that's in God's hands. But what if I tell you that divinity, God's inside of you, giving you the opportunity and the ability and the authority to rule, to exercise this aspect of bringing change into your life, whatever you want to manifest. And whatever you want to manifest in for 2025, it must first start here inside. As I said in the beginning also, it has to do with the shifting in our mindset that we have to make. And we are entering a time now in our lives, and many of you will agree with me, that you're going to have to make a shifting in your mind before you can make and see a transformation, a transition in your life from the one side to the other. Now, what do I mean by from the one side to the other? The one side, I mean in terms of being forever either in the past or in the future. The other is the now, when we make the commitment to stay as long as possible in the present moment, to be here, to be connected to the now, and to realize that yesterday is gone, that I can learn to not attach myself from yesterday by letting things go. And I can also learn to not attach myself from the future with the futuristic mindset of the what if that happens. And then back to the past, the shouldn't, the wouldn't, and the couldn't mindset that holds us back. And to be resetting yourself, we need to first understand how this concept of mindfulness is working. And this is what I want to help you tonight. And let me give you the first reflective question, what I want you to think of about this past week. And this is, what was that one moment this past week where you felt fully in the present moment? So I want to ask you tonight is, what is it that you want to share in terms of events, a situation this past week where you felt fully present? So just pause a bit and just think about, what was it? What was that event? So some of you I know very well. I can imagine, I can think of examples in your life, but I'm not going to think on your behalf here tonight. So you can tell me, what is it that you experienced this week that you can know I was in the moment, I was mindful, I was so present? Was it while you went for a walk? While you decided this week, I really want to eat more mindfully instead of just gobble down my food? or being a better listener in the present, or just go for a stroll on the beach if you stay close to the sea. Because I know some of you here to tuned in tonight here, you have that wonderful privilege to be very close to the sea. Eh? So that's it. That is, yeah. So, okay, what was that special moment this week that you experienced while you were just in the now, just being present here, like me? In order to present tonight, I don't have any kind of, it's my phone, I'm responding to you guys and just checking what you are saying and doing here on my page. Welcome, welcome, everybody. But look what I'm doing. I don't have any notes here tonight. I'm speaking from a heart because when you're in the present moment, everything flows. But when you go out of it, when you exit the present moment, you're going to have to rely on your logic mind. Now, there are times when we have to do it, but let me tell you, the best presentations, the best shows comes from the heart. And the heart is connected in the present moment. And this is where we get our best creativity manifested, and you are absolutely in the highest level of productivity when you are in the moment. So, hence, I'm asking this question: what was that one moment this past week that you can highlight? Maybe you had plenty, I don't know. Hopefully, you had. But those moments this week was really actually your highlights because you were present. You were connected. And that's what I love about mindfulness. So, yeah, let me just check here. Yeah, thanks for everybody for your comments so far. I really appreciate what you are sharing. And I don't know why my phone is not cooperating here tonight. But, Mari, this morning we went to a swim in a tidal pool, Jongensfontein. Was amazing. I was hoping that you're going to respond, Maria, really, really, because you are so blessed where you're staying that you can actually experience mindfulness associated being a pleasant moment. Remember, it doesn't mean that mindfulness is always pleasant. Sometimes the moment is not pleasant, but you have to accept it, the radical acceptance of not every moment is pleasant. Oh my goodness, but when you are there by the beach and Mariska walking with your doggy, oh, doggy, observing everything around me, just like the doggy is doing, because the doggy is always, most of the time, more often in the present moment than us. And learning to observe your doggy and to learn from your doggy is very important. And they, you can also see and learn from them in terms of being present. So, this is a good kind of observation to acknowledge the moments in this week when you were present because it works for you. This is your mindful practice activity. In future, you know when you are in distress and when you're not in the right place of being present. This is where you can go to. Again, go again to that place. And wow, my partner with his prosthesis hasn't been in the water since he lost his leg. It was very, very special. Well, profound. When I say profoundness, it means it was a moment captured. Wow, what a wonderful way it is just to capture the moment. Capture the moment, being in the present moment. And also, did any of you perhaps lit up a candle this week? Candle watching meditation, just to observe and to be present there and to absorb the present moment. Candle watching is a wonderful way, by the way, to bring yourself into the present moment. So that's what works for you. And you identified in future, it's what you can go again. Oh, yes. Melissa, yeah, while preparing a Christmas dinner on Friday made me feel proud and capable. Oh, awesome. That is amazing. And that's what I love this time of the year when we are doing these things like you are doing now, preparing for Christmas meal. And we are so aware of why we are celebrating Christmas in the moment, being connected to our loved ones. Therefore, Christmas is supposed to be a daily thing of celebrating, having a time of gratitude and connectivity. That is what I love about being in the present moment and to reflect and give acknowledge to that one event or more when you were fully present. And that's what I love about mindfulness. Okay, let's move on to the question number 2. However, were there any moments where you reacted instead of responding mindfully? So, what happened here is that you reacted in a way, reflecting back, and you realize if this situation will happen again, I think I will deal with it differently. And this is where we learn to observe ourselves and our actions without any judgment. Why? Because we want to grow and learn from those events when we were not present, when our emotions took over, when we act impulsively, and without living with a feeling of regret which takes us back to the past. We acknowledge it now in retrospect, we observe it, and we ask ourselves, what is it that I can do differently next time when that situation happens, and that I can act more wisely. Because the whole idea of mindfulness is also to be able to act wisely. You can only act in wisdom effectively, appropriately, when you are tuned into the present moment, when you are here. When we are not connected here, when you are not here, you may say things or do things that you may regret. When you are not in the moment and you're in an emotional state, of course you're going to say things that you can later on say, hey, this was not the ideal way of responding to that situation. So now I'm learning more to be intentionally in the present moment. I'm learning from from the mistakes. Why inverted commas? You may perceive it as a mistake, but it's a learning experience to grow. That customer that you treated with a bit of irritable impatience, your husband or wife or partner that you reacted in an appropriate way, looking at it and saying to yourself, yes, it happened, acknowledge it did happen. However, I want to grow from this experience. I want to become better version of myself. So I need to be very honest with myself. Very honest with myself. Honesty with myself in terms of the question that I've just raised now. Were there any moments where you reacted instead of responding mindfully? And how might you approach them differently next time? Yes, Mari, I'm with you. I cried, but I didn't respond impulsively and reactively. I later explained to a customer, I think I handled myself very well. We don't judge ourselves when we responded inappropriately. We observe and we learn. Because out of observation, what happens, flowing from observation, comes insight. That's the beautiful part. out of observing, just learn to observe, just neutral observation without labeling. We are growing and we are advancing. We're advancing to that high level of conscious in terms of your awareness in the areas that you want to improve on. And to also to give yourself credit when you realize I handled myself very, very well in that situation. Imagine it was a conflict and you look back and you say to yourself, I'm proud of myself. I've handled it mindfully. So in future, I will most probably again respond in that way because it worked. So what's busy happening? You are building and reinforcing, establishing a habit in your life, and you becoming more aware of living in the present moment. Okay, so that was question number 2, a reflective question. Okay, so good to have you all on board here tonight, and I see some of you that were tuned in last Sunday. You were also back, so welcome back. It means I'm doing something right. And I was almost thinking, must I carry on with this broadcast? And I decide, yes, I made a commitment last time, and regardless of how many people, I'm going to do it. And that's why I'm recording it and I'm going to put it on Facebook so to make people aware of every Sunday night, 6 o'clock, I'm here, just here in this area here in my lounge. And with the background, maybe it doesn't look like a lounge, it's more like a barn. I wonder where's all the animals here. Yes, it doesn't matter. Good to have you all on board here tonight. So great to have you all aboard. And please post your questions and share with each other here tonight. So that was the question. To learn from these situations what went wrong this week and understand what went wrong was supposed to go wrong for you to experience a learning opportunity. And this is what it is. And from a perspective that I'm sharing with you tonight, in other words, that there's no failure. There's no failure. Your so-called mistakes is a learning experience providing for growth because none of us are perfect. We're not perfect. We are just humans. Embrace your humanity. Embrace your brokenness, your shortcomings. Don't try to be perfect. Just be your authentic self. How can we be our authentic self? Just by living in the present moment, being here, now, here. Just being here in the present moment. And if you don't know how to be in the present moment, just light the candle. If that is still not working, make a cup of coffee. Whatever it takes for you to bring yourself, to ground yourself into the present moment. So that's what it works. Mariska, you are saying yeah. Why are you saying yeah? What? Elaborate. Oh, Mari, yep, I got robbed by someone I appointed. Yo, I'm so sorry about that because I know your heart. I know your heart is to help people. You know what? Now you learn. You ask yourself without any judgment, I did the right thing, the wise thing to appoint someone, but the person robbed me and went away. And of course, most probably the person left already. What am I learning? Ooh, what a painful lesson to learn. And I want to show you tonight one of the things that happens here like this. Let me just show you from a mindful perspective. It happened. It's part of the growing experience. And what am I learning about myself? What am I learning about my discernment, about trusting people, and the ability to be absolutely so in tune with your wise mind that you know this person doesn't belong in my organization. Talking too much tonight. Yeah, when something like this happened, Mari, we are learning more about ourselves, things that we don't like about ourselves. And then we may sometimes say, oh, I'm just going to close my heart and shut my heart for people. Be careful of that. That experience that you had is not supposed to turn you into a better person, but I know you. It won't happen. You are just moving on, you're learning, you're becoming stronger because part of your recovery road is to experience a bit of resistance. Without any resistance, it means that you're not learning, you're not growing. Going to the gym, it means your muscles must experience a bit of resistance, resistance training to become stronger, to become fit. Because now, people like Mari, you are your authentic self now. I know you. You are acting on your authentic self now. And when this happens, you will experience adversity. But the way you handle it shows how you are moving deeper into a conscious of the wise mind. Okay, Mariska, yeah, my yeah was meant to say yes, yes, yes for keeping to your appointment every Sunday to talk about mindful moments. Yep, here I am. Hello, hello. Yes, and Mari, it's true. You won't. You won't. We're handling it. Every step is part of your healing. It's a growing opportunity. And this is what's happened. Oh my goodness, just going back. She stole 50,000 worth of stuff from my shop. Here. Okay, people, this is why we are here. This is the reality when these things happen. When we look at it from a mindfulness perspective, is to be there to accept this has happened. This is just what happened. When I'm saying accepting, it doesn't mean you condone it or approve it. We accept the reality of the situation. This is what happens. To acknowledge your feelings of anger, sadness, disappointment, regrets, to feel the emotion, to acknowledge it, and now to observe what's happening here. What is the wisest thing now to do in terms of going forward? And then just to sit and not to do anything impulsive and just to wait. Sometimes we just have to breathe. Breathe in deeply, do the box breathing, breathe in through your nostrils, hold in, breathe out through your mouth, and wait and breathe. The box breathing. And this is what we are doing. Yep, so that's what we are doing here. We are learning, we are growing. Mindfulness doesn't take away the pain, but it will prevent the suffering in terms of when we are not learning from the experience, when the same thing happens over and over in our lives. Mindfulness doesn't take away the pain. Mindfulness just opens the opportunity for us to learn and to embrace and to move on by staying in the moment the whole time. It must not distort my picture, my trust or distrust that I now have in people. Not everybody are thieves. I'm learning. I'm learning to observe myself, and this is something that's happening to make me more vigilant in going forward in our lives. And this is part of the wisdom when we learn to be in the present moment. Isn't this amazing? So, Mario, thank you for your testimony here tonight with us and sharing what happened to you. And I like the way You've always been very honest and transparent. It's part of you healing, being honest and transparent. Too many of us, we don't share, we just hold back, we absorb. And I've seen it so many times when people just absorb negative energies. Some people believe it's bad and it's wrong, it's sinful to be angry, it's sinful to wrong to, no, you're not supposed to feel like that, man. Just get over it. That kind of invalidation that other people give, but worse, we are doing it ourselves. So here it is to validate your experience and to acknowledge it and to grow into a stronger version of yourself by realizing that these kind of setbacks do happen. And when they do happen, is how you and I will mindfully observe them so that we can learn, re-strategize. In other words, as I said earlier tonight, the ability to reset yourself. Now, before we go into reflective question 3 and 4, remember I'm talking about still resetting yourself. It's not about to become another person. It's all about being the authentic you. To realize now, after so many years of not being your true self, to satisfy and please other people, to live in fear, to live in the past, to live in the future, you are not your authentic self then when those things are happening. Your authentic self emerges in the present moment when you learn to know, who am I? In other words, what am I good at? What are my passions? Speaking of passions, as I said in the last broadcast last Sunday, I'm going to repeat it again, that the purpose of you being here on earth is to find your true passion of life. What is your true passion? What is that one thing that when you do it, it gives you the ultimate joy? There's no higher sense of joy. When you find that and you say, I'm going to invest all my energy, because where attention and focus is, that's where energy flows to. And when I focus my energy on those things that gives me the utmost highest possible level of joy, the emotional vibrations, the chemicals that your brain secretes, the energy is capable of healing you. We see it when people experience joy, abundance, and gratitude, not allowing those people, those elements, those events to steal your joy and return back to your state of being and allowing these emotions to flow out because you are living your purpose. You are living according to your highest joy. What are you doing? The chemicals in your brain that secretes, which is automatically releasing the desirable emotions mentioned of gratitude, joy, happiness, peace, tranquility, is capable of healing you up into your DNA, affecting the way how your DNA, how your cells respond to the environment. This is the beauty of change and resetting. When our emotions on that level vibrates and that you are able to get healed. Many of you will agree with me tonight. Since I've changed my environment, since I've walked away from the toxicity, my emotions is different. I'm happy. And since I'm happy, I'm finding out that I'm relying less on chronic medication. My emotions is busy healing me. There's many of you that I know here. Your emotions is busy healing you because you are changing two environments. The external environment and your internal environment surrounding the cells. The cell nucleus is dependent on the environment. We know it. That's how evolution works. And with climate change, how plants are many times able to adjust to the environmental changes. So that's what we do when we respond to the environment. And the vibration of the emotion, which is released, which is energy, positive energy in this case, is capable of healing you. Absolutely. And this is what is necessary for the shift, and realizing that for 2025, there's not going to be an external something with a spaceship or an angel coming from above giving you a zap. And now, woohoo, enlightenment happens. Enlightenment comes from within, not from without. The change must come within, here on the cellular level. And my emotions is all about my emotions. My emotions, which is secreted, my emotions allowing the energy to flow so that healing can take place. So we need to be very careful of emotions. Emotions is a very true, a healthy, effective tool, actually, a very effective tool to indicate what's going on in our lives in terms of the changes then that we need to make if the emotions is not desirable, if I'm not in a state of gratitude. For instance, reflective question number 3. What is one small action that you can take this coming week to bring more mindfulness into your daily routine? Yeah. While you're thinking, I just want to respond here. Hallo everyone, bly om jou te sien vanaand. Welkom hier so. Mari, making people happy. Oh, you're doing it so good. I can just imagine where you are painting nails, telling jokes, and just being funny you and spreading the joy one person at a time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what it's all about. Yes, yes, yes. Mariska, someone offered a job, but because they had helpers in past that was lazy to work, they are not trusting others. I offered to volunteer to see if we could work together before I commit to this job. Yeah, this is so true that many times people had bad experiences with someone else. And then we generalize. This is what trauma does now. One person did something bad to me, now everybody, according to that person, looking more or less like that person. Now we don't distrust them ever again. Be careful of generalizing. So this is the example that you use of that other people who are not trusting because of being hurt. What's the saying? Once bitten, twice shy. Now, in my opinion, that's not a very much of a mindful comment. So be careful. Because what happens now, we are trapped in a past future loop. Back to the future. The past determining the future. The program, the conditioning that took place. How do we break that conditioning? Simple. By living in the present moment. When you return back to the present moment, we become aware of this loop of past, future. Because someone did bad to me in the past, this is how I will act in future. Like for instance, if you've been robbed at gunpoint, for the next 2 weeks after that, you're going to be so super paranoid in your environment because the past is now affecting the future. And if you're going to go for trauma counseling, trauma debriefing, what do we do with that? We simply help you to bring you back to the present moment and to become aware of this past future scenario, how the programming works. Because with trauma, the pattern in the brain is set immediately, it's established instantly because of the high load of emotions that was discharged, and those chemicals, energy, which is negative, then releases a lot of adrenaline and cortisol in the long run, even establishing that pattern more and more until we can go for trauma release. And letting it go to disconnect yourself from that and to realize I am not my past. To let it go. So I'm free. The past is not ruling me anymore. When we understand this concept of returning to the present moment, we are learning that the past is not defining the present anymore. It works the other way around. The present defines the past. In other words, I have the ability and the grace now to look at the past in a different way. I can even look at the perpetrator with more compassion and letting it go. I'm not saying you must not lay charges. The wisest thing is to do, lay charges for the insurance to pay out, etc. But I'm talking about the emotion that's holding us back in the holding pattern. The holding pattern of past, future, the holding pattern. To be free from that, to break the pattern, to ground ourselves back into the present moment. That's what it is. Yeah, yes, whoop, whoop, yep, whoop. Me too. I'm also in a whoop, whoop mood tonight here. I like the energy. That's what I love about this broadcast. Okay, back to that question. It's about this coming week. One small action, one something, one additional action that you can add onto your repertoire this coming week to bring more mindfulness into your daily routine. Now, someone asked me this past week, is it really possible to be mindful always? Hello, we are all humans. That's a super being to be mindful the whole time. Listen, when I'm sleeping, I'm not mindful. I'm in another world, on another dimension. Then I'm not mindful. So we can't always be mindful. We all lose it. We all lose the plot a bit from time to time. but it's coming back. Hello, coming back to the present moment. That's the relief. That's the joy of mindfulness. To return to base. When we all lose it a bit, we become angry, upset. We feel the negative emotion. We feel it. But then, as we learn what's working for you to ground yourself, to return back to the present moment, that's the beauty of mindfulness. Yeah, I agree with you, Marty. The trauma release exercises weekly is extremely effective. Oh, they work fantastic. And you will see tonight, the rest of you, that I'm touching a bit on some of those concepts here tonight to make you aware of it's all about bringing you back. When you are a survivor of trauma in your life, the whole idea of trauma is it takes us back, transports us to the past, and now it builds this bridge back to the future that I mentioned. And we keep on staying in that loop, and the slightest triggering event that happens, it just activates that loop. And we are struggling to stay in the moment. And what's so beautiful about trauma release is really to learn the skills that ground you into the present moment, to be here, and to realize that your healing is dependent on returning to the now, the reality of now. That's what I love about healing, even from trauma, childhood trauma, a previous relationship that was very traumatic. We can move on by letting it go. But before we letting it go, we have to observe it. We have to acknowledge the feelings we felt and now. We have to become aware of this bridge that has been built. And the bridge, we need to let it go. It needs to be demolished. How? I'm not saying you're going to forget it, but to reprogram yourself, resetting yourself to be in the present moment. Wow, what a wonderful blessing it is when you say to yourself, I am committing myself to 2025 by staying in the present moment. Here, no, here, la, manje, all of those beautiful words to help you to stay here. And when you want to dissociate, this week some of my people said to me, Jeff, sometimes I zone a bit out. I'm dissociating. By means of you acknowledging that you tend to zone out, that you tend to fade out of the present moment because you feel overwhelmed. Acknowledge it. It is happening. And now that you're acknowledging it and you're looking it straight in the eye, this is the journey of your healing that starts to take place. There's an acknowledgement that's busy taking place. And now, in return, you're going to have to learn your grounding activities that works for you to become more present. And at this present moment, I'm just thinking of my book that was published about 2 weeks ago on the 1st of December. There's my mindfulness moment, mindful moments activity workbook. 57 activities that you can use to bring yourself into the present moment. People have been asking me, Jeff, isn't there a book I can read about mindfulness to help me practice mindfulness? There are thousands of books, but let me tell you, most of them is just stories, advice. But this workbook is an activity workbook to help you to work and in order to get yourself back into the present moment. One hesitating here. The age group works from 12 up to 120 years old that will relate to the activities. So anyone can work with these activities. They are childlike simple. So you can go there to my bookstore. I think in the top of this thread of the comments is a link that I put in there that you can just go there to order it online. And I will then gladly send it to you via the courier guy. So I won't be able to send it directly to you. The courier guy will do it. Okay, back to the question. Right, so that's your small action that you can take this coming week. Your commitment to bring more mindfulness into your daily routine. What will work for you? And then the last but not the least is how can you practice gratitude or acceptance for something in your life right now, even if it feels challenging. Now, here it comes. You want to see a change in your life. Gratitude is not only about being grateful for what happened today in your past. Gratitude also is a fantastic tool to attract the desirable future, the future of possibilities. Like, for instance, we all do it. Do you also say grace before your meal? Or do you say grace after you ate? No. I'm quite sure that you say thank you before you eat. So there's gratitude before you're going to eat. And gratitude after your tummy is full, of course. Likewise, we can also practice gratitude to see the manifestation of change. So let's go back to Mari, to your story of the theft this week, 50,000 rand. That's a lot of money. Now practice gratitude. So what happens? You're purifying yourself. You're cleansing yourself. You're raising your emotional energy vibration. So now those brain waves are operating on a vibrational level that's going to bring healing. I promise you, because when you're going to practice gratitude in the now, what's happening in your future is beautiful. You don't have to worry. Just practice gratitude. You're going to have to figure out what are the things that you're going to practice gratitude. What are the things that you're going to ponder upon to manifest change in your life? So when we practice gratitude, it goes beyond of all the current blessings, the existing blessing in our life. It's also about what is in the linear perspective about to come that we want to pull into the equation of the now. And now my mind is already imagining and visualizing what I want for 2025. And in advance, I am so grateful for 2025. I'm so grateful for the things that's going to happen in 25. In the world of mindfulness, there's only one reality, it's the now. So it's a done deal. It's a done deal. I let go of the old, I learn from the old, and I disconnect myself, not attach myself from the past. Let it be bygones. Let it go. Because I'm embracing the new reality. So now my present future reality has a new connection, not a past present reality, which is actually disturbing the present moment, spoiling it. But the present future reality in terms of what we envision for the blessings that we expect. In advance, we are practicing gratitude. Guess what's going to happen? It's a universal law that you and I are applying, and you're going to see change manifesting in your environment because before it can manifest around you, it must first manifest in your mind, in your heart, in your imagination. And your subconscious, because of the emotions that you are experiencing in advance for what's about to happen, those emotions accept it. Your subconscious will accept it and won't be able to discern between is it happening or not. Sorry, because the emotion that you're experiencing, the subconscious will only respond to that. It's a positive energy load being discharged. And this is the power of gratitude that we can experience in our lives. Oh yeah. Yes, Marie, ek het groot planne. I love it. Great plans. Great plans. Yes. Vision it. Visualize it. See it. See the picture for 2025. Feel the emotion of the breakthrough. Experience. Seal it with gratitude. It happens. It happens. It comes to you because you are there in the moment. Because everything happens and manifests with you in the present moment. Okay? But I'm so grateful to be here in this moment to listen to mindful moments with you, Jeff. Oh, thank you so much. You're so special. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Thank you for this presentation. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Courier guy ken my nou al persoonlik. Yeah, I'm very happy when they pick up the parcels there at the hospital. What I've done, the parcels, mindful moments, I put it there in my pigeonhole, and then the reception, when they see the pigeon, I mean the, the pigeon guy, the courier guy arriving there, what happens? They don't even speak to each other, just go to my pigeonhole and give them the parcel. And then within 2 days, 2 working days, it will arrive at your doorstep. Yeah, so definitely I will post it with Courier Guy, and I am very happy to say that the system is really working very, very well. And the feedback that I get from the people who's using the book is just amazing. They're all playing. They're playing. They just go through the book, randomly page through. That one. I like to do it now. Whether it's the word search or the word puzzle or one of my mandalas that they're coloring in. Regardless, it's all 57 activities that bring you into the present moment. That's what I like. Oranje duif. Yeah, that's what it's all about. And I like them. They are really, really effective in their work, what they are doing. So, yeah, thanks to the courier guide. So, there's that. You can practice gratitude and acceptance or acceptance for something in your life right now, even if it feels challenging. Of course, it's going to feel challenging, but you're going to manifest. Remember, 2025 will not, if you say, I'm just going to wait and see, then the past will be the future. It's just going to carry on because the program will carry on automatically. You don't have to do. Be careful. Wait and see. Wait and see means that the past, future scenario, that loop that I spoke about, you are just in that loop. With a wait and see, it's dangerous because you're not guaranteed. So you're going to have to manifest it. And the principle of manifestation has got to do with gratitude that we spoke about tonight. And that's what I love about gratitude. It changes me. It changes my vibrations, my body. Gratitude being secreted, released on a daily basis has the ability to bring a lot of healing to you. This is what's so amazing about the research that I'm reading, how your emotions can heal you. If stress and anxiety and fear and hatred can cause so much devastation in a person's body, you've seen it all around, how bitterness, unforgiveness, all of those emotions. Imagine what the emotions of light, of transcendence, like gratitude, joy, happiness, forgiveness, those emotions, what it can do. You know what? The problem with the past, it's like food that has already reached its expiry date. You don't want to eat bread that's already expired, moldy bread. How do we say in Afrikaans? Muf. It's muf. Sometimes we have muf thoughts. Let it go. Let it go. It's expired. It doesn't serve us any longer to hold on to those beliefs, those thoughts, those memories, those traumas. It's expired. It's not part of your being anymore. Let it go. It doesn't serve you any longer. And that's how, as you say, Maury, let go of what is holding you back. You're going to make it happen. You're going to make it happen to manifest it. And that's what I want to help you tonight. You can manifest it through the wonderful blessing of gratitude. So from now on, when you're going to say grace before you eat, do it more mindfully. Your digestive system will even work even more better because you have received it now, not just out of a ritual for what about to receive. Make me truly thankful, Lord. Thank you. Amen. No, no, no. You are doing it now in a mindful, profound, intense way. Your prayer, mindful praying. And that is the beauty of seeing things manifested in your life. So that's what I'm saying in conclusion. We can practice gratitude and acceptance together or parallel or separately, doesn't matter. For something in your life right now, even it feels challenging because with the bare eye you can't see it yet manifested. But when we are operating in the domain of mindfulness, though it's in the linear way, not yet there, but mindfulness is the domain of now. So what happens? It's a done deal. It's a done deal. You can make it happen. It's up to you tonight. So that's what I'm saying. Resetting yourself is indeed possible. So thank you, everybody. It was fantastic to have you on board here tonight. We are going to be together next Sunday evening, 6 o'clock on the 21st of December. we're going to be definitely be here together. And I'm looking forward to see you again, because every time I'm touching something else, another aspect of mindful living. So thank you so much, and it was so great to have you on board. And the streaming facility has really recorded everything very well. So soon after this broadcast, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it on my Facebook to just share it with you. And please share it to the world, share it to everybody. And remember, this is my commitment to you that I would like to do it next week again. Can I promise it for the whole entire year? I'm just living in the moment. For now, I'm saying I'm going to do it. Let me just go with the flow in terms of what needs to be done, because I believe the message of living in the present moment needs to be shared so that we can be just the best version of ourselves. Wow, thank you so much for this evening. Lyndon, oh, good to also see you checking in here tonight. Yo, you and I have got such a wonderful history together. Sometimes it's good to visit the history. And there's so many things I've learned from you, really, really, my brother. What a precious person you are. Really. Bless you, my brother. Thank you tonight for also tuning in all the way from there, from the beautiful island. Island, eh? If I'm correct. So glad to have you also on board here tonight. And if there's more that you want to watch, you can just check the from the beginning. I will release the video. So everybody here tonight, thank you for being here. Ilani, oh, you're so precious. All of the years, you've always been there, supportive, and I really appreciate you a lot. So that was great to have you all on board here tonight. Mariska, Mari, everybody here tonight. Erna, good to have you also here tonight. And precious, precious. You, Ruan, earlier tonight that you also tuned in tonight. So I really want to give all of you recognition. Johan, Jurgens, oh, the once moment that we saw each other, I remember so very well. And I'm so happy for you how you are manifesting success and breakthroughs in your life as well. Yes, so great to have you all on board here tonight. Nadine, Ilse at the beginning, all of you that I want to just give acknowledgement, recognition to you tonight for being here. You are all precious people, and I love you all. Thank you. This is now Jeff. Mm, I must first still work on a way how to sign out. I don't have a jingle. Doesn't matter. But now I'm talking nonsense. It's time to let go. And just another thing before I say goodbye to you, I just want to also remind you there's my website, theancientmaster.com, where you can just go there to my online shop and check around there the 5 workbooks that you can have access to. And also, those of you who want to learn more about mindful living, there's the online subscription, the podcast program that's also available there on a month to month subscription. Thank you so much, then, everybody. Thank you, Lennon, my brother. Appreciate you. Maury, are you going to sing? You want to sing us a song? Maybe I must just also do it on Teams, then you can also interact with me more. You want to sing us a song? Fantastic. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Mariska, you are changing, eh? You're growing, you're raising your energy levels like never ever before. I'm so glad. Yes, yes, I'm going to carry on, Maury. Thanks for acknowledging me as a mentor in your life. That's my honest privilege. I'm grateful for your beautiful feedback that you're giving to me about how you perceive me as a person, also adding value into your life. So, yeah, thank you so much. So, this was a broadcast supposed to be 1 hour long. Now it's 1 hour and 15 minutes. So, I better say goodbye to you. Thank you all. God bless you all. Be in the moment and make the best of now. and I'm looking forward to speak to you next Sunday, 6 o'clock.